Alrighty. Hello. Yeah, that's the best intro, I think, still. Hello. So, I just finished up my last day at Blue, not last day, but last day for a while at Blue Ridge Log Works. So, that means I have like roughly 10 days, 11 days, something like that, until I have to go back there, which is kind of cool and exciting. So on the 6th, I'm taking a WFR class, so a Wilderness First Responder class, which I think is like a 9 or 10 day class. So I have work off for that whole period of time, and I get to just kind of focus on this class and knock this thing out. Because I think, that by having that class, it'll help me reach some of the goals that I have. Anyway, not the point of the video. We'll jump right in. So I wrote down, why are the best days of your life over? I think I was listening to the song, and I was just thinking about this in general, how, in the song, Summer of '69, where it goes, those were the best days of my life, all that stuff. The best days, those were the best days of my life. I was just listening to those lyrics, I think, and I think that's kind of sad, I think that he's saying that his life isn't as good now as it used to be back then, which to me, not only should that not be the case, it also is just kind of a sad thing. Maybe that's just some cool lyrics he wrote that aren't actually true. He just wanted to make that song sound more powerful or sound a certain kind of way and give a certain message. But to me, that's not the kind of life that I want to live. I want to have each progressive day be better than the last one. I want today to be just a little bit better than yesterday. I want to be just a little bit better, a little bit stronger, a little bit. I want to have grown a little tiny bit every single day. So to say that those were the best days of my life, that means that you haven't done anything since then. It means you haven't grown. It means you haven't really progresses as a person, which to me is not how we should be living our lives. I really believe that I guess things kind of might go wonky on you when you get a little bit older, when you're 70, 80, 90, whatever, because then your brain starts to deteriorate and you get all these weird illnesses and so I guess things get a little funky then. But up until the point when you're senile, if that ever happens, hopefully not, but up until that point, I think that you should just be a better person every single day. So by the end of your life, so when you turn 70 or 75 or whatever, you should be the smartest, strongest, wisest, just most experienced person that you ever have been in your whole life, right? So that you have all these experiences throughout your life. You should be gathering data and gathering information and learning from those things, and that happens your whole life. I mean, every single day whether it depends a little bit, obviously, but every single day you are exposed to different experiences, and you're being presented with new challenges, and there's different things happening each day. I think for the majority of us, that's probably relatively true. Even if it's the exact same schedule. My face dirty. Even if it's the exact same schedule, like let's just say that you're working at a job and you work, 9 to 5 on Monday, you work 9 to 5 on Tuesday, and you eat the same foods and you do all the same things, I can almost guarantee you'll still have a different experience from day 1 to day 2, right? So there's going to be there's always lessons in everything that you do, right? So any possible thing that happens, large or small or significant or insignificant, everything in the world that happens to you and the things that you experience are lessons. They're potential lessons. Not everyone views these experiences that way, and so they don't gain anything from them. They don't get anything. They don't learn from them. And so I think that's probably why people don't grow from these things, because they don't want to be learning a lesson. They want things to just be going the right way, and they want things to be going smoothly, which those can be lessons too in a different form. But the negative things that happen in everything, again, there's a lesson in everything. So I guess the whole point with that is that when the older you get, the better you should become. I should be able to look back 5-10 years from now and be like, oh my gosh, how could I have thought that was the right decision? Like, what kind of person was I? You know, even in my own life, just for an example, when I look a year or two back, at that time, I thought that I was doing these incredible things, and I was really disciplined and doing pretty cool things, I thought at the time. But now, where I am in my life currently, I look back and I'm just like, oh my gosh, how would you ever possibly think that that was healthy or smart or beneficial in any way, you know? And so you should be able to look back in your life and think, I'm better than that person now. So I guess the goal isn't to be critical and criticize yourself and say, well, why am I not better? Well, I don't really know where I'm going with that, I guess, but yeah, I guess just that song made me think about that. So those were the best days of my life. You know, everyone always says, here's something else too that always has scared me and bothered me a little bit, is that everyone always says that college are the best 4 years of your life. You know, those 4 years you're in college, those are the best years of your life. And that, to me, again, is really sad. You know, so that means that inevitably when you if and when you graduate college, it's downhill from there. That's what they're implying, that they only wish that they could be back in college because those are the best days of their lives. Those are the best 4 years. And I understand what they're saying a little bit, but at the same time, though, I really think that you should just be building a foundation today for a better tomorrow. That's a kind of a cool quote right there. You should be building a foundation today for a better tomorrow. You know, you should be working just a little bit harder and a little bit, I don't know, you should be working towards a better tomorrow, I guess is kind of the point. And so that's kind of what I try and do. You know, I have a little morning journal that I write in, and I every day, you know, there's some exceptions, not every single day, but most days, that's part of my routine is to learn one thing before I even start my day. So I'll research something. A lot of times right now it's been a lot of climbing things lately, so whatever that might be. But I want to read and learn and document one new thing that I've learned every single day. Of course, there's many more things that I've learned, but I want to at least start my day off writing one thing down. However in depth I want to go with it. I mean, it could be anything. It happens to be a lot of climbing things as of lately, though. So I think you have to take a very deliberate and decisive, use a deliberate and decisive mindset and do these things and document your growth. You know, I think actually Alex Honnold was talking about this, so he has a journal for his climbing things, and you know, just like his daily, kind of like his own personal blog, I guess, where he was just saying that if you don't document things, then you're only ever going to be just trying hard, and you might not even really realize when you've grown, you know, because if you're trying hard, you know, let's just say, so for climbing, for example, is that? No, that's not. Let's just say you just start out climbing, it's your first day trying it, and you try really hard, and you're really sweating, and you're just giving it a lot of effort, you're just trying hard. Let's say 5 years down the road from that, you're still trying really hard, you're still sweating, you're still putting a lot of effort in, so you might not even really know what the difference is, because you're working hard, you know, in both ways. So if you document things, you say, okay, on day one, I couldn't climb anything, I felt so weak. I mean, you're still trying hard, like, again, but you have to like document your numbers and document kind of where you were and where you are and where you're going. That way you can kind of you can visualize and you can see on paper that you have grown, in fact. So that's kind of a cool idea I learned about from Alex Honnold. So journaling and documenting things is cool. Anyway, grow every day. I think that should be everyone's goal. If everyone did that in the world, I think that it would change life on Earth. You know, if everyone just grew a little bit every single day, and learned like one thing per day, which is super easy, by the way. Learning one thing it happens whether you even know it or not. I guess the challenge might be just to document that. Anyway, I guess that's the main gist of the video. is you should never look in the past and say those were the best days of my life. You should say the best days of my life are still ahead of me, while being grateful and happy with where you are. So kind of a weird balance there. Anyway, that's all I got for today. See you tomorrow. Roger out.